I've had no response from Freddie, apart from him just setting us on Wi-Fi.
Hey guys, it's Simon from redlinemotorsport.co.uk. Today we have the Porsche Cup GT3 at Mid-Hawaii. This is round 3 of 7. So this is at race room, so just bear with us. So qualifying's just started, 20 minutes qualifying, and then we've got a 45-minute race. So I will say these cars on this track are a very bad combo. So we expect a few people to come out, because you've got to be so patient with the car of this track. So everyone's just on their warm-up laps at the moment. So hopefully we'll get some good times in a minute. So yeah, once we get a few leaderboard times, we'll be able to see what people are doing at the moment. But so far we're seeing about 128s at the moment with the Porsche Cup. So it's been pretty fast so far. So welcome guys to the stream. Just get myself sorted. A bit of rushing around the last minutes to try and get in on the stream on time. But yeah, hopefully we should be in for a pretty good race. So yeah, will we just me you today commentating? So Yuri's gone faster so far, 128.3, with Stefan taking P2, followed by Rico, who's P3 now. As you say that, Andre Moll's just taken P3, but still 1.2 seconds off the pace of Yuri at the moment. Yuri's really been smashing the practice sessions with these 128 times, so there has been quite a few drivers managing to get these sort of times, so we should be in for a pretty interesting race. So Guillen's taken P2 so far, 0.8 seconds off of Yuri for P1. Stefan's still holding P3 now, with Moll and Andre Moll was hanging around with P4. Yeah guys, just let me know if the game's too loud or I'm too loud or things are too quiet, just so I can make sure I'm adjusting everything properly. That'd be great, thank you. So like Toadstool's just managed to grab P3 there with 0.9 seconds off the pace so far. Even Silverwolf, welcome. So good to have you here, mate. So Guillen's managed to go faster again. So Castell's now managed to take P2 with literally 9,000th of a second off of Yuri's pace at the moment. So some pretty insane racing there. So just 40 minutes left of qualifying, and then as I said, we've got a 45-minute race. As I said, we're at mid-Hawaii, Ohio even. This track with these cars is an absolute nightmare of a combination. I said you have to be very patient with these cars around this track because obviously it's quite a very bumpy track with a lot of adverse cambers and stuff. So you have to take it really easy because you've got hardly any downforce, no ABS, no traction control in the Porsche Cups cars. On T-Still. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Toadstool's currently P3 at the moment. 0.2 seconds off the pace so far, but like I said, we've still got 30 minutes left. So yeah, just let me know if the game's too loud or I'm too loud. Like I said, one of the others too quiet, so I can just try and get it just right. That's a problem every time we jump between games. Right, Freddy is very laggy, so I'm going to have to tell him to quit. He shouldn't be racing like that, that's really bad. So just bear us one second.
He has just left.
So, actually, Wenger should be out now because he was having some really bad internet issues there. So Yuri's still holding P1 at the moment. He did that lap very early on in the qualifying, and he's managed to keep hold of his P1 position. But with Cassel P2 at the moment is only 9,000th of a second off his time, with Toadstool 2/10 off of Yuri and P1. So we're still on board with Cassel a minute, let's see if he can improve it. It's got traffic unfortunately, that's going to slow him right down. But he is, even with that traffic, he's managed to get 1/10 off, so he could get pole. We'll just stay with him until we come around the final corners. See if he can manage to obtain, and he does, he's managed to grab P1 there, so that now puts Yuri in P2, so with 300ths of a second off the pace. So that was pretty awesome there to catch Cassel doing that. So Casper was up on his time then, but he managed to catch a car. Unfortunately, he's lost the time he's managed to gain there. So I said this track is very demanding, especially with these cars and this track combo. So as I said, hardly any the downforce of these cars and no ABS or TC. So that's why we've got a new leader. So Jen's now managed to grab on 28.28, which has now put him 200ths of a second off of Cassel and P2 there. Now pushing back Yuri to P3. So we've had a pretty awesome race or change of position so far. Cassel's now managed to grab pole now with almost a 128 dead. Which now put him 2 tenths ahead of Jens, who's P2, with Yuri now P3. But there's just over 6 minutes left of qualifying to go. So yeah, hi guys. So yeah, just over a minute left to qualifying, and then we've got a 45-minute race. And we have actually got a full formation lap. So we've got Louis will be taking the guys around in a NSU, it's a Russian car. It'll be quite fun. So bright and yellow. So the guys have to literally wait on line, allow the NSU to come up front, and then it'll basically take them around in a full formation lap. And they will actually start their start on T3, so they won't actually start on the pit straight. They will actually start on T3 there, so it's a longer straight, so everyone can get in online. So anyway, so Gassel's taking P1, Jen's taking P2, Yuri P3, Toastall's taking P4, Jack's P5, Sasha's P6, Stefan P7, Guillaume's P8, Jake is P9, and Rico's taking P10. So there's your time. So we've got quite a lot of guys in the 128s and low 129s there. So we should be in for a pretty awesome race with these guys. So we've got 22 drivers in at the moment. So we should be in for a pretty good race. But as I said, these cars with this track combo is definitely very hard, should I say. So as I say, you've got no TC, no ABS, very low aero. And because of the adverse cambers and the way this track is very bumpy, it can really throw you off course. So you have to really take it easy. And obviously be very patient with the cars. So everyone should be ready up in a minute. And Louis should, like I said, be taking around a full formation lap shortly. So yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. If you're new to us, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, because I am streaming to both platforms. So we've got the Porsche Cup today. So the Porsche drivers need to wait until Louis gets ahead. What's happened to Louis? This is not a regular start. I don't know what's going on with Louis. Here he is. He's got locked out the pits. There we go. So we'll follow Louis now in the good old NSU. So if you guys haven't raced these cars and raced through them, do it, because they're absolute great fun. Low engine powered cars, but full clutch manual transmission. Right, why is the guy slow it down waiting for him to get in front? There we go. So yeah, so Louis should be catching up now. I don't know why he started in the pits. He should have started from the racing line and drove back through the grid, but he ended up getting like a 5-second penalty from that, sitting in the pits, which obviously slowed everyone down. So here we go. Right, so now we're on course for our full formation lap. So yeah, so Louis will be taking around in the NSU, like I said. So this will give everyone time to spread out and be able to weave like they are, to keep the tyres warm the brakes up. And this is actually T3 here, so this is where the full formation lap will finish, and then the race will start from here. The reason for this is they do this in real life as well. It's the longer straight, so there's less chance of any instances going on. But the only issue is come T4 is quite a nasty turn. So although everyone will put their foot down and fly up to T4, they need to obviously adjust to that, because T4 is a very nasty corner in these cars. So it looks like everyone's behaving nicely so far for the full formation lap. So when they get to the second straight, which is just after T1, they should get into double file, and then Louis will bring them round T2, and then from there it will be the race will start. So everyone seems to be behaving but stopping because bunching up too quickly at the moment. Just head back to Louis to make sure everything's going well. So it's a very long formation, almost 4 minutes long so far. So I think next time we'll get Louis to speed it up a bit, because I think he was only running at like 100 kilometers an hour around this. So we'll probably get him up to about 120 or so. So this is where they're starting to get into double file now. So far so good, they're all behaving nicely. So they just come around T1, so the second straight now. And eventually when they come around T2, the keyhole. That depends. What's his challenge? Because he's starting at the back, isn't he? So it'd be interesting to see what Mole is actually doing. So this is where the race should be off. So here we go. Come down to the red tower and the race should start. So far so good. Just over watch T4 because this turn I said is very harsh on the cars. I mean, they're not carrying much speed, so everyone should be behaving so far. So far so good. Castell's still holding P1 at the moment, with Jens in P2. And we've got Toadstool P3, which has pushed Yuri back to P4 at the moment. So far, lap 1 is looking pretty good so far. So Mole's now gained 2 positions now. He's up to P19. So I have to say, we had a pretty good start there. Very slow formation lap, unfortunately, but with that, we've actually had a pretty good, clean lap 1 so far. It's nice to see, especially with these cars on this track. As you see, the car in front almost lose it there. That's Toadstool in front. We're on board with Yuri at the moment. So they say that Mole's now jumped up to P16. He was P21 earlier, so he's now taken up 5 positions. So he's done well so far to gain those 5 positions on the first lap. As there's been no accidents yet, so fingers crossed it stays that way. So just on board with Jack at the moment. So everyone's still pretty close together at the moment. Let's jump back to Rocco, because it looks like these guys might have a bit of a switch around at the moment for P18 and P17. There might have been a contact there, so Rocco's gone off. ball with Jack at the moment because he's the one that's pretty close at the moment with Yuri just in front. So Jack's still holding P5 with Yuri P4. We just come around the keyhole there, that's T2. So Cassal's doing pretty well on P1. He's managed to get a 1.6 seconds almost. Just wait for the relatives to change slightly because it's about 1.6 seconds at the moment ahead of Jens in P2. So he's got away quite quickly so far. Stefan's starting to put the pressure on Sasha in front for P6. So I'll jump over to Daniel at the moment because he's trying to make a move. But he gets closed off there unfortunately, so he loses a bit of time. We're just jumping back over to Yuri to see what's happening here. Yeah, definitely not. It's definitely not easy to go last place to P1 as Yuri's just made a bit of contact there with Toadstool. So that's a big mistake there. So that's cost Toadstool quite a few positions. It looks like Yuri's had to hold back as well. So Yuri did give back the position to him, so he didn't lose anything there. So although Yuri will get a penalty for that, he'll only get 1 point because of good sportsmanship there. Sasha's dropped right back to P19 now. So he's dropped quite a few positions there. So he's on board with Jack for the moment. So Cassal's managed to get a bigger lead now, 2 seconds, almost 2.2 seconds ahead of Jens. And we've got Stefan who's P3 at the moment now with Jack in P4. Yeah, welcome guys, how you doing? So yeah guys, if you're new to the stream, don't forget to follow us on Twitch and like and subscribe on YouTube. I am streaming to both platforms, that would be much appreciated. It's just myself commentating tonight, so there will be a few awkward calls here and there unfortunately because I've got no one else sort of jumping in between. But I'll try and commentate as much as I can on what action we can actually catch. So jump over to Mole for a moment. So yeah, thanks for the follow there Chris, appreciate that. So Mole started at the back of the pack, he's now up to P13, so he's doing well so far. So like I said, the challenge there from last to P1, I mean it's a very hard challenge, but if you can do it. But the thing is he going to be, I doubt he's going to get P1 to be honest with Cassal's pace at the moment, and obviously with Jen as well, 2 seconds behind Cassel. But I imagine he should be obviously maybe top 5s, this is in reach for him. So Yuri's starting to close the door on Andre at the moment. So just to jump back to Jack because he's closing that gap again on Stefan, but Stefan's not having none of it. So as I say, these cars, no ABS, no traction control, hardly any downforce, and on such a track like this with all the bumps and adverse cambers and that, it makes it very hard. But Jack's taken the inside line here, as he's just taken P3 with his side by side at the moment with Stefan. And Stefan's managed to grab P3 back. So some pretty awesome racing between these guys at the moment. I'll jump over to Daniel a second because it looks like he's having a bit of a battle at the moment with Roko. So just back over to Jack again, because it looks like again that it's going to be an interesting battle between these guys. So I have to say it is a challenge in itself trying to keep these Porsche Cup cars on this track. So it is hats off to these gents to actually keeping these cars on the track, because I said they're not easy at all to drive, especially with, like I said, how bumpy this track is, the reverse cambers. You know, it is a very hard challenge with this car. So Toastall's now P7 at the moment, so he's lost a few positions. He started P3 earlier, he's now down to P7. So Mole at the moment is in P12, so he's moved up position. Say that, but he has just changed back there. Obviously they was having a bit of a battle by the looks of it. So Toastall's closing the gap at the moment on Jake in front. So we've got quite a few guys all grouped up together at the moment with these guys here. So there's a three-way battle going on. This is with Toastall, Jake and Gian, all battling for P5. So yeah, we've got the new Le Mans series starting in Race Room on Sunday. So do check it out, guys. It'll be a pretty awesome race. It's a 2-hour endurance race. That's with 3 different class cars. I believe it was, I'll have to double check actually, I can't remember which cars. I'm sure it was P2s, GT3s and GT4s, I believe it was. So yeah, that's to come Sunday, so that should be a pretty awesome race to watch. So we've also got a three-way battle here for P8 at the moment with Yuri, Luciano and Andres. So we've got some good battles all in their groups here right across the grid at the moment. So it should be in for a pretty awesome race. So Chris has raced the Porsche 911 Cups in this Assetto Corsa competition yesterday. Is it not this Sunday? That's my bad. Sorry, yeah, it's the endurance race this Sunday, isn't it? So yeah, we got the Nordschleife story this Sunday with the Group C and Group 5 cars, and it's the Sunday after is when the Le Mans series starts. So again, that's another endurance race. So both 120 minutes races. So do check them out; they are pretty awesome. But yeah, just going back to say, Chris was doing the Assetto Corsa Competizione yesterday with the Porsche Cups. They've just started round 1 of that series. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to commentate on that one because Mondays are usually quite busy. But we have posted a video up of the highlights on YouTube, so do check it out, guys. It was uploaded today. But from speaking to the guys that obviously race in both ACC and Race Room, a lot of guys will say that the Race Room Porsche Cup cars are a lot harder to drive than the ones on ACC. So Jack and Stefan still battling out for P3 at the moment. There's a little bit of contact there from Jack, but Jack's managed to back out of it, and Stefan's managed to keep his cool so far. We'll jump on board with Jack again, because I know Jack is really trying to get past here, but so this track is so technical. You know, you push the car too hard, you will end up going off. Because as I said, this track is very bumpy. It's very, the reverse cambers will throw you off the track with one silly mistake. So, fortunately, Jack tried to go for the inside there, but Stefan's closed the gap, so closed him off there. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. I would definitely say that. So Jack's trying to go for the move as he come down for T4. But I don't think he's going to get it as he's gone wide and almost loses the back end there. So like I said, there's no TC in these cars, so if you're straight on the power, you will literally flip that car around. Especially on the adverse cambers there. So some pretty good racing going on right across the grid at the moment. And we've got Yuri at the moment still battling out for P11 with Andre. We've got Toadstool, Jake and Gian at the moment for P5. There's a three-way battle going on there with these guys. As it looks like Jake's just made a big mistake there, so he's dropped back and lost position there. So that's unfortunate to Jake. He just, like I said, just one small mistake and it will cost you a lot of time on this track. So thanks for the follow there, really appreciate that, guys. So we've still got the battle on with Jack at the moment. Yeah, so I think that is right. Yeah, there's no TC on the ACC Cup cars. I believe they have got ABS still. So just jump over to Yuri again because he's almost going too wide here as they come around T2. So Yuri's found a better line there as he's managed to gain a couple of attempts then. As they come down for T3. Yuri gets the inside line there, makes the pass, so he now gets P9, so puts Andre into P10. So it's a nice racing there by Yuri. So back on board with Jack at the moment, still battling with Stefan. Cassel is miles ahead at the moment, 3 seconds ahead of Jens, who's P1, and Jens is in P2. So we've got Stefan, who's almost 7 seconds behind Jens for P2 at the moment, but the battle is going on between Jack and Stefan at the moment. It looks like Jack's about to make the move. So we'll just jump in the TV cams and make sure we catch this, but he had to yield again for T1. Jump back on again, but this is a three-way battle. If we look just behind, we've got Gian just behind. So Jack doesn't really want to be in this position where he's having to try and attack and defend at the same time. This is where Gian can try and take advantage here. So Jack's trying to find a way around Stefan, but unfortunately Stefan is defending very well here, stopping Jack from trying to make the pass. So we come up down through Thunder Valley, and the carousel. Then back to the pitch straight. So Jack is really on the tail end here again, trying to get the inside line here. There might be a little bit of contact. No, there's no contact. So a tiny little bit of door rubbing there, but still almost too wide. But Stefan still manages to keep his position for P3. So some awesome battling going on between these three guys here, trying to get P3. This is very similar to the to Misano in ACC on Friday's race, where we had literally had a three-way battle for P3 from the majority of the race. So if you haven't seen that, guys, do check it out. It's on Twitch and YouTube, and that was an absolute awesome race there in the Assetto Corsa competition. Thanks for the this follow there, mate. It looks like Stefan's just made a small mistake there, and so Jack's trying to come around and get past him, but Stefan still holds on to his position. So Stefan's doing really well here, trying to maintain and keep his P3. So it's pretty much between these guys. There is stuff going around at the moment at the back of the field, but nothing close enough for me to want to change cameras right now. I mean, it's most of the intense racing between these three at the moment. So Jack is really trying to find any chance he can to try and get past Stefan, but Stefan's doing so well at defending here. As they can't go 2-1, looks like Jack obviously got the front here now, so it looks like Jack can grab P3. So unfortunately, Stefan lost that, but now Gian's trying to come down the inside there, and now it looks like Stefan has managed to keep hold of P4. So he did lose a position down from P3 to P4. Almost lost the position to Gian there behind, and we're putting him back to P5, but he did manage to defend there and keep that position. But Jack is now well underway, so Stefan was holding him up a bit by looking at the pace that Jack's got now. So we'll just jump onto the race leader at the moment, just so we give him a bit of screen time while we're catching up with the other guys. So Casso is miles ahead at the moment, almost just over 4 seconds ahead of Jens, who's P2. So it looks like Jack's just had it off, so Jake's now jumped down to P3. So somewhere Jake's come along to taking P3. Stefan's lost the position, is putting back to P6, with Guillen's now taking P5. So I don't know what happened there. We just caught, as I said, Jack going off slightly then, and Jake taking full advantage there, which then sent him up 3 positions. So we got Jake. There we go. The screen wasn't catching up fast enough then, but Jake is in P3. We were showing his P4, but he's definitely P3. So yeah, I do not know where Jake come from then, but that's pretty incredible how he managed to jump back screens and catch that. I don't know, but yeah. So Jake's actually just come from nowhere and managed to jump into P3. So that's some great racing from Jake. I guess there must have been a little bit of a mistake or an off or something, and Jake's just come around and took full advantage of that, because Stefan has now dropped back to P13. So I'm not sure what happened, if there was a bit of contact there between him and Jack or something, because we saw Jack was off. But as I said, Stefan's now down to P13, unfortunately. So just jump over to Daniel, because he's putting pressure on Kenneth for P14 at the moment. So there was contact, yeah, so I thought that would be the case. So yeah, so like I said, Stefan's obviously got the biggest brunt of that and dropped down to P13. So Jack's now having to try and fight to get back his P3 place now, as Jake's not too far ahead. So we should still be on for a three-way battle here for P3. So I'll just say that Mole now, he's climbing well. He started P21, he's now up to P11 at the start of the race. So just under, well, just over 19 minutes left of the race to go. So Mole's done very well to gain 10 positions so far. So just on board of Guillen, he's slowly closing the gap again on Jack. And he's got Jake just in front there, about 1 second ahead of Jack at the moment. It looks like Guillen almost made a big mistake there. You saw his back end just twitch, but he managed to keep hold of it. What's the DD2 donation? That's the Fanatec Direct Drive 2 that I want. So I've got the Club Sport V 2.5. I'd love to grab the DD2. So that'd be pretty awesome someday. So Guillen's now managed to take P4 off of Jack, but no, Jack's managed to come back, but Guillen's got the inside line here. So Jack still manages to grab keep hold of P4. So it was almost a bit of a switch around there between Jack and Guillen for P4 then. So just jump over to Yuri actually, because Yuri's having a bit of a battle here with Luciano for P6. There's some intense racing between these guys. Well, that'd be very kind. Thank you very much. Yeah, all donations obviously welcome, guys. Appreciate it. So just jump back to Mole as well. So they're starting to get quite a few battles now across the grid. So Mole's now closing on Andre for P10. We've got Toadstool closing on for the other Andre for P8, and we've also got Yuri taking on for Luciano for P6, And Guillen's obviously trying to put pressure on Jack for P4. So we've got quite a few battles going on at the moment. So everyone's still having a pretty close battle right across the grid. As you can see, everyone's still pretty close together. So jump over to Jack because he's gone side by side now with Guillen. It looks like looks like he might have the edge, but Guillen has got the inside line here. But yeah, Jack's managed to take P4 off Guillen, so there's some awesome racing there by Jack's just managed to catch that. I'm going to jump back over to Yuri quickly because Yuri is closing the gap on Luciano for P6. So we could get a chance of an overtake between these guys. So as I say, some pretty awesome racing going on so far. Shame that Stefan obviously made contact with Jack earlier on, who's for P4. Well, there's a good battle between Jack and Guillen for P4 and P5. But unfortunately, Stefan took the bigger brunt of that and dropped him back to P12. So he has gained another position. He was P13 a minute ago, so he's got to P12. So Guillen's not letting Jack out of sight, so he is making sure that Jack feels the pressure. We're going to jump back over to Andre because it looks like there might be an overtake here as they come down for T2. So Andre and Toastal are still battling out for P8 at the moment. It looks like Andre's managed to get the overtake, so Andre's taken P8. Let's jump back over to Yuri again because Yuri's now putting the battle on with Luciano for P6. So as I was saying with these cars, I said there's no TC, as it looks like Andre's just closing the gap there, making it past Toadstool still. So Andre's still holding P8. But as I was saying, with the adverse camber in these cars, no TC, no ABS, hardly any downforce. You know, it is literally like driving on ice. You know, one mistake, it will throw your car off track here. So it's been some absolute awesome racing with these guys. So Guillen is about half a second off of Jack at the moment. Let's jump over to Toadstool because these guys are having a good battle again. Andre and Toadstool with P8. As Andre still holds on to P8 for the minute. I'm just going to jump over to Guillen because again these guys are having a good battle here with Guillen and Jack for P4. So we've got about 3 battles going on at the moment with Yuri and Luciano, Toad and Andre and Guillen and Jack at the moment. So this is from P4 down to P9. But there's a good battle between a couple of cars each there, all wanting to try and gain positions. We'll just jump over to Toadstool again because he's still closing that gap again on Andre at the moment for P8. Yeah, welcome Team Powerful UK. At the moment we've got no prizes as such. We are having a chat with Race Room about getting some VRPs to give away, so some virtual vouchers for our races. So yeah, we do try to give away prizes here and there when we can. And obviously if you guys are new to the stream and you want to donate a prize, that'd be great as well, because then we can obviously give that away to the winners of the championships. So every sort of thing helps. So Guillen and Jack again are still at it as they come down to T4, but Jack's got the better line here. Guillen is trying to get the inside line, but Jack will cut him off as we just see. So I just want to jump over to Yuri quickly because it looks like these guys are again coming down for T4, and Yuri looks like he might make the move here. He's just had a tuck in behind, so still no change of positions there at the moment with Yuri and Luciano for P6. So just jump over to Toadstool as well, because again these guys coming out for T4 again as well. They're having a good battle for P8. Jump over to Yuri, because it almost had an overtake here. He might just catch it now, as Yuri will have the inside line. So Yuri has managed to take the pass now, so that's pushed Luciano. That has put Luciano back, so Yuri has got the position. So Yuri is now taking P6, pushing Luciano back to P7. So some great racing from these guys so far. So it looks like we're going to have a three-way battle between P7 and P9 at the moment, with Luciano, Andre and Toadstool, as you can see just in the distance there behind Yuri. So we'll jump on to Guion as well, because he's still battling it out with Jack for P4. As it looks like Jake has got well ahead at the moment, so he's got a good lead so far. So he's almost 4 seconds ahead of Jack for P4, Jake has taken P3 so far, as he's catching up with some back markers. Jen's still taking P2. And Cassel's got an awesome lead at the moment, 9 seconds ahead of Jens for P1. So he's doing really well here. So some awesome racing from this guy. He's absolutely dominated the track today to be 9 seconds ahead. So it looks like Angelo is trying to put a bit of pressure on Rocco for P17. So we've got some pretty awesome battles again going across. We've got about 5 battles so far. So I'm going to keep an eye on these to try and catch as much as we can. And hopefully get the best bits. So Mole's now up to P11, so he's improved. So he's now taken up 2 positions now to take from, he was P13 earlier, so he's now gone up to P11. Yeah, that's it. That's very true, Chris. So yeah, we just got about 9.5 minutes left of the race to go. So I said it will be very challenging because we've got quite a lot of battles going on so far. So these guys are closest at the moment, Andre and Luciano for P7. So we'll just jump through the grid a sec. So Daniel's down to P18 at the moment. So not much going on around him right now. We've got Angelo P17, not far behind Rocco for P16 at the moment. We've got Timo for P15 with Kenneth just in front for P14. We're going to jump back to Andre again because these guys are closing the gap. So there might be a change, especially as he'll start to come up to some back markers shortly. What wheel would I recommend? It depends on your budget there, Team Purple. I mean, I started off with a G25, I had that for 10 years, and then I sold that, and I brought a Thrustmaster, and I had that for a few months, and then I bought myself the Fanatec V2.5, and I've had that for almost 2 years now. So if your budget's not too small, I would definitely recommend Fanatec gear. So obviously, yeah, if you guys are obviously in the market for a sim rig, do check out GT Omega. We have got a 5% discount code with them. So discount code is RLM. So do check them out. I mean, I did own a Pro cockpit from them. So I've still got the RS9 seat, which I've had for over 2 years, and it's been absolutely awesome. So no marks or anything on it. So it's been well looked after for 2 years. So yeah, guys, if you do want to check out a cockpit or whatever, yeah, do go to them. They are very reasonably priced and very good quality. So Andre's closing the door on Luciano at the moment. Luciano's for P6. So some of the other battles are starting to drop off a bit, unfortunately. Do you mean the G29 or the G920? Yeah, I mean they're good starter wheels for sure. So you can't go wrong with them. But I mean, the difference between that and when you go to Fanatec is a huge jump up. So, but it's whatever you can sort of afford. Guion again is starting to close the door again, or closing the gap on Jack for P4. So about 0.6 seconds between them at the moment. So Jake was almost 4 seconds ahead. So I'll jump on with Jake a sec. I'm sure he was. Yeah, he was almost 4 seconds ahead. He's now down to 2 seconds behind Jack. So I don't know if Jake made a mistake earlier. So there might be a possibility in the next 6 minutes that Jack could catch up with Jake. If he does, then there'll be a pretty good, an interesting battle near the end. So Guion again still about 0.6 seconds between him and Jack at the moment. So unfortunately it has sort of spread out for the last few minutes, but hopefully we should see some changes. But say Mole's now gone from P11 up to P8, so he's gained a couple more positions. So this guy, he started at the back of the grid, P21, he's now P8. So he's done very well so far in this race. So we've got Andre just in front of him, so there's a chance he could grab that position, but I don't think he'd be able to grab P6 though, because P6 is quite ahead and only 5 minutes left, so I think Mole might get P7 at the end of this. So Guion has managed to lose a couple of tenths there, so he's gained a couple of tenths off Jack, which has put him up to 0.4 seconds, as Jack's just got a bit of a back marker in front. So back marker is holding to let Guion in that pass. So we'll jump over to Rocco, because he's got Angelo just in front. So just jump back to Guion at the moment, because there is a battle going on again between him and Jack at the moment. So unfortunately there's not much going on across the grid at the moment, because everyone's sort of spread out a bit. So it's unfortunate it's in the last few minutes of the race that we didn't continue to have the same battles we had for the majority of the race. But anything is possible, as the last few minutes is where people should really push now, and hopefully they might get a position or force their opponent to make a mistake. So just jump over to Rocco, because he's again closing the gap there on Angelo for P14. There's a bit of contact there. So that sent Angelo off the track. So that will have to be looked into. So that's a bit unfair to see that, unfortunately. So just back to Guion again. So we've got the final 2 minutes, so I'll just see where Cassel is at the moment, so we should get to see. He's just coming around the final corners now. So I imagine this might be 2 more laps left. So we'll flip back to Gear in a minute because he's about 0.3 seconds off of Jack at the moment for P4. But I just want to see roughly where we are with the time. So just going to the last corner. So yeah, it looks like we've got 2 laps by the looks of it. So it all depends on Cassel. He could either slow down for this lap and then it'd be the final lap, and if he does carry on pushing, we will see 1 more lap. But Cassel has got the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:28.6. So almost his qualifying pace, where he got almost a 1:28 dead. He's done pretty well there. Jens has got the second fastest lap with a 1:28.8, so he's about 0.6 off his qualifying pace. So again, very fast laps here for race pace. So some great racing so far between Guy and Jack at the moment. So still about half a second between these guys at the moment. I'm just going to jump over to Cassel to see roughly where he is. He's just caught up with a back marker. There's 14 seconds left. So if he goes over the line now, there will be 1 more lap. So he's just gone over the line, so we've got 1 more lap left. So Guillen's now lost a bit of time there, as he just looks like he lost his back end then. We saw a bit of smoke come up. So he's literally lost about 1.5 seconds off of Jack now. So that's unfortunate. So Jack looks like he will be holding P4. The back marker has just gone off there at the moment. So unfortunately there's not any battles going across the grid at the moment, so we'll just stay with Cassel for the final corners. I say this, but Guillen has just managed to gain a couple of attempts, but he's still about 9 attempts off of Jack for P4 at the moment. So we come around the final corner here. So Cassel is about to take P1, so he takes pole. So some awesome racing there by Cassel. So well done, Cassel. So just follow Jens through the last couple of corners. So Cassel was almost 16 seconds ahead come the end of the race. So that was some awesome pace from Cassel. So Jens taking P2. So well done, Jens, for P2. So Jake's coming around the final corner here to take P3. So just come around to Jack's taking P4. Guillen's just taken P5 with just moments off of Jack's there. Andre's come around for the final corners now to take P6. So some great racing there from them. And the other Andre Moll is coming for P7. Awesome racing there. Molly's managed to take P8. So great racing from him. Stefan's managed to improve and get up to P9. So after that mistake earlier, it dropped him down to P12. He has managed to gain 3 positions and get himself back up to P9. So fortunate to Stefan having a collision with Jack earlier on and losing his P5 to P13. And now managed to get P9. Is absolutely awesome. Toastall's coming over the line now to take P10. So well done, Toadstool. And we've got Rick, who's going around for the final corners here to take P11. So there we are, guys. So that was a pretty awesome race, to be honest, for the first sort of 40 minutes of it. Unfortunately, the last sort of 5 minutes, it sort of died off with the battles. But anyway, like I said, these cars of this track, I mean, it's an absolute crazy combo because I said there's no ABS, no traction control, and hardly any downforce on these cars, and it is literally like driving on ice around this track at Mid-Ohio. So yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm just thinking when we are next back. I believe it will be Saturday actually with Mike with AC, and then we've got the endurance race, so the race room endurance race on Sunday. So do check that one out. That's at the North Schleife, so that's Group 5 and Group C cars, so that would be a pretty good race there, so do check that out. Otherwise, I'll be back myself Wednesday next week for ACC. We've got the ACC Championships on Wednesday and Friday. So otherwise, I will see you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Cheers.